Hello and welcome back to the Pretty Little Podcast. We're your hosts.
My name is Phoebe.
And my name is Caroline. And today we are going to be yapping. And Phoebe, I see we've got some Pittsburgh pride in the house today, all the way in Nashville. Is it because of our big W?
Because of our big dub last night. Well, this is also just, I showered. Oh my goodness. Honestly, on Sunday, I was a little bit like sad that we didn't have a game. And I was like, it's kind of like, I didn't know if I was going to
Phoebe's jock edit. Phoebe's giving herself a jock edit on this podcast
well,
episode.
I just like missed it. And I wasn't sure how I was going to like it on Monday night. And
I was worried you were about to say, and I wasn't sure like how it was going to be the rest of the week because of that.
No, I'm not insane, but it actually ended up being my perfect night. I got off work. Wow. I took a shower. I took a walk. I took a shower. I ordered Domino's and yeah, guys, I ordered Domino's. Our local Domino's where I live is really good.
Okay, well, it's a franchise, so aren't they all exactly the same?
No, certainly not.
Well, in terms of like the taste profiles, the recipes,
I guess, but I think that there's a lot that can go wrong between the factory and the oven, you know?
Maybe.
And from the oven in the car.
I guess user error does exist. Well, I just think that for some reason it's hard for me to imagine ever wanting Domino's when I could just order from Little Nippers, which has the best pizza ever lately.
It does. It's so crazy. Well, I texted
good.
Anthony. I did have a free pizza, so that was obviously helpful. But I texted Anthony in the middle of the day and was like, what should I get?
And he said Domino's?
No. I said barbecue or Domino's. And he was like, either get the most trash national pizza chain you can find or the local cuisine that's better where you live than it is in most other places.
Anywhere else. Yeah. Huh.
And it ended up being a financial decision to get Domino's, but it made my night. I had a great time. And this is Mom's shirt, and I don't remember if I stole it or if she gave it to me. But it's kind of like a Connell family classic.
It is a Connell family classic. And I almost wore a sweatshirt today that Mom gave me that I know I didn't steal from her because she just gave it to me. It's a Dorchester sweatshirt, and you're going to be pissed that I got it. Haha. Anyway, yes, I was at the Steelers game last night, and so was a fan of the Pretty Little Podcast.
No way.
Yes, I didn't know. I know what you're asking, Caroline. Oh my God, did you get recognized? Did your lifelong dream of getting recognized finally come to fruition? No. But MK Kelly texted me and let me know that there was a PLP fan in the stadium, and that would have been pretty cool. But it was nice to know that we like shared that moment in time, you know?
Yes. Absolutely.
Anyway,
absolutely.
It was a fun game, but we were surrounded by Giants fans, and
I was looking on the screen and I was surprised by how much, because normally it's the inverse effect when we go to other games. It's like basically a Steelers game everywhere we go.
Yeah.
This, I was like, wait, there are way more pockets. It was still like clearly like, I mean, watching a Steelers game on TV is louder than watching any other football
Anthony
game
just
on
texted
TV.
me. I cannot. All right. Anthony just texted me. We were not surrounded. Don't say that. Makes us look bad. There were 3 out of 25 closest people to us Giants fans. So there you have it. Okay. Sorry. If we need to like prove the Pittsburgh fandom to you guys, one time I went to a Predators game with Taylor in Nashville, and she's a Predators fan because she's from here. And I wore my Penguins jersey because we were playing the Penguins. And we were in like way up in the top of the arena. The nosebleeds?
And the nosebleeds,
I think you mean the nosebleeds.
and our colors are kind of similar. Like the Preds are blue and gold and we're black and gold. So the jerseys from afar can look similar. So Taylor fully thinks she's walking into like home territory. Like she's going to be surrounded by like Predators fans, and for a while we like kind of think I like see a few Penguins fans, and then as the game is going and the Penguins are playing really well, everybody around us is cheering when I'm cheering, and Taylor is like, oh my god.
People start taking off their shirts and drawing Penguins jerseys.
Taylor,
We're like, why'd you bring Sharpies?
You got completely pranked.
Epic prank.
And then when
Taylor.
we were leaving the Bridgestone Arena, people would like be yelling at me from their cars, like, let's go Pens. Like, and she said it was like unlike anything she'd ever seen in her life. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell you guys what it's like up there.
You're like, this is what it's like in the Northeast, not the Midwest, in the Northeast.
Thank
Pittsburgh.
you. Unless you're saying something nice about the Midwest, and then it's like, okay, fine for right now.
Unless you're self-identifying as a Midwest princess for the moment. What I want to say though is that I know, like, quote, I stand corrected by my nebby husband who's listening in on this podcast before it even drops.
Caroline, I've never heard her use the word nebby before.
I don't think I've ever used it before. So first
it
time
always
for
comes
everything.
on those, like, anytime you like buy like, or you go into like a Pittsburgh gift shop, there's like a magnet that says,
is nebby a Pittsburgh thing? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's like you know those dish towels that a lot of places sell that have like all the jargon on it.
Yes, jag off, yins, those ones.
Oh, the classics.
Oh yeah, those ones, the classics.
Hits.
The classics. Yeah. But what I want to say though is like, okay, well for me, like I was kind of surrounded by Giants fans because listen, it was the person next to me was my adoring, doting husband, Anthony. The girl next to me was a Giants fan. The person directly behind me was the loudest person in the entire stadium, was a Giants fan. And then the person in front of me was Steelers. But that is 50% around me. And then it's also next to the girl was another Giants fan. And like, so I'm just saying they were also quite vocal. But I have to say something. And like, listen, I'm not into like girls hating other girls. You know what I mean? But the girl next to me, Anthony and I both agreed, just needed to stop it. Okay? Because here's what was happening. The person behind us loved the sound of his own voice. Okay? And he was yelling the entire game, like as loud as he fucking could. And he was kind of funny. Like Anthony liked him, I guess. Because I got home, I was like, that guy was annoying. And Anthony was like, oh, I liked him. And I was like, okay. So anyway.
Kind of classic.
Yeah, kind of classic. So anyway, I was annoyed by this guy, but it was like every time he would say something, the girl next to me would like echo it in her own little way.
Was he a Giants fan?
Millisecond. Yeah. Like a millisecond after he did. So he'd be like, don't you dare do that play. She'd be like, why are we doing this play? It'd be like 1 second after he started. It was like Kat and Garth vibes. Where they're
that's
like
in Mom's head.
Yeah.
In Mom's head, that's what the commentators are doing when Dad's watching a football game, because Dad does this thing where like
she's like, how can they hear him?
He'll say something about what just happened on the screen, and then it'll cut to the commentators and they will say almost verbatim the exact same thing that our dad said. And our dad never like played football. Like he doesn't like strike me as like sporty spice really, even though he like knows everything about sports. Even though that's something that I've never understood quite about men, is like, how do you know everything about
when
sports?
Did you learn it?
That's what I'm saying. You don't play these
but it's
sports.
Like, you know
or
what?
Like,
I just want to say,
Dad doesn't even pay attention to hockey. I pay attention to hockey, and I'll like have like a half opinion about it when I go home, and Dad's like, yeah, and then I'll list like 5 players that I've never heard of, and he's like, but they really got to get their act together.
Okay, but like, can
what?
you name 5 makeup brands?
Yeah.
Do it.
NARS, Urban Decay, Maybelline, Clinique, and REM.
A rare beauty snub, Selena Gomez. Did you hear that? Sorry.
Wait, did you see Emma Roberts?
Wait, let me finish my point because I will never get back to it. The reason I have to tell the people why I just made you list 5 makeup brands so they don't actually come from my head, okay? I did that because I wanted to prove that, like, Phoebe doesn't wear makeup every single day, just like Dad doesn't really like hockey, but he still knows about it. So I'm wondering if it's like, you know, since boys and girls are completely different, I wonder if it's like
boys are from Mars, girls are from Venus.
Or from Venus. Wait, I thought boys go to Venus to get more penis.
No. No. Boys go to Jupiter,
To get more Jupiter. Well, I do remember hearing Venus and penis. Probably middle school. That is so giving middle school.
Book. There's that book that's like boys are from Mars, girls are from Venus, or something like that.
Oh, I just know that old rhyme. You know, boys go to Venus to get more penis. Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Girls rule the world. That's the one that I learned. I don't know which one you learned, but right. I just think sometimes boys just from being a boy, you just know some of it about sports, even if you don't watch it. Just like from being a girl, like you're just in areas enough and you get enough marketed material that like it's harder for you not to know, you know?
That's true. I noticed one time when I was like house sitting for Meg, but there. So like I was like
doxing the whole family, doxing the entire family on the podcast.
We talk about them all the time.
Child's name.
Okay, Money. When I was babysitting Money. Buck. Nickel.
Dollar Bill. When I was babysitting Dollar Bill.
He would like that, and that's like what he would put on in the morning. He would like put on ESPN. So I guess that's also where they get it. But like I don't see Dad doing that. But he knows everything.
Well, Dad just listened to his first podcast episode because
of
he
us?
could feel, yeah, right now he's listening to this one because he could feel like a shift in the air, and he was like, I think the girls were majorly complimenting me, and I'm in. So he's tuned like, the hell in.
Hun, how do I find the podcast? And she's like, Chris.
It's supposed to. Goose sends it every week and says press play. Seriously, Chris.
He's like, well, my ears are ringing. All right, my ears are burning.
One thing, yeah, someone's talking about me. One thing that happened last night at the game that was a complete and total time capsule that I did not see coming was "Say Yeah" by Wiz Khalifa started playing, and the way that I felt like I was in 9th grade. Well, maybe in 9th grade, getting ready to like go to some party I probably wasn't supposed to go to or whatever, and probably drink alcohol. Well, no, I didn't drink alcohol till 10th grade.
And guys, get a load of this. Probably drink alcohol.
No, I didn't do that until 10th grade. I remember that.
Wow,
but
you really held out.
Because
I really held out.
I held out as long as I could. And I'll never forget how mad Charlotte, our friend, got at us because she had strep throat and we did it without her.
Oh my God, so mean.
So mad.
You guys literally,
we were like, sorry, like we planned
this as long as we can wait.
We were like literally because we were like we picked a specific night in the summer that would be our first night drinking.
So funny. When you guys made like your list, you made like your list. I think you've told the story about y'all with the Arizona tea bottles.
Probably,
but
yeah, that was the night.
I haven't felt underage since I was underage, except for when I am rolling around these streets right now with my paper ID.
yeah.
And I feel like I'm about to hand them my fake ID. Like when I walk up to them. I actually went to a bar for the first time last weekend and I did give it to him. And I was like so not in the like, not that I wasn't in a joking mood, but I was in a joking mood with my friends.
No way.
Not with this man.
You and I don't know each other, so no, I'm not in a joking mood with you.
And he goes, I can't take this. But he didn't say it in a joking way. He said it really seriously.
Well, Phoebe, we'll never know because you were famously not in a joking mood. So anything he said could have come off any kind of way.
That's true. But he let me in, so.
Well, thank God. I'm calling the police and reporting
I am
them,
a little bit
God.
like, okay, you're just letting me walk around here. If you could hold this piece of printer paper in your hand that my current form of identification sits on, you'd be like, this has to be some kind of joke.
Yeah. Wait, you had a fake ID, right?
Yeah.
Arrested, arrest her.
I hear the cop knock on my door.
The famous cop knock.
My upstairs neighbor just got it for the first time.
The cop knock?
Yeah, because I could hear it from my bed. I could hear the USPS knock from my bed.
Oh no.
Which is like, that's kind of a far distance for that sound to travel. And I hear her jump out of bed. Like, jump.
Oh my
and then
God.
get to her door and realize it's just a fucking package.
And you realize, okay, what's going on up there? That you were so scared when you heard the cop knock.
Well,
Why were you so freaked
I
out?
immediately got flashbacks. I got taken back to the first time I basically
Heard the
fell
cop
out of bed because I thought that the cops were at my
I
door.
just wish I could have been there. But the good news is that, guys, you're never going to believe this, I am spending 3 weeks in Phoebe's Nashville one-bedroom apartment in
and guess whose
December.
idea? And we both work from home, and that was our mom's
We both
idea.
work from home, and it was our mom's idea.
Our mom's idea was that we could, because we might be going to something in Atlanta after Thanksgiving. Our our mom's idea was, okay, perfect. So you guys will just drive to Atlanta together, and then you will drive to Nashville together, and then you will drive to Pittsburgh together.
3 road trips.
In my head, I'm like, oh yeah.
In your head, you're like, what?
I don't want to be a bitch, but I'm like, that's
Phoebe,
kind of a long time.
I did see Phoebe wrestling with I don't want to be a massive biatch. I saw it happening on her face when I said that I would just drive back to Pittsburgh. And then she made a face and I was like, no, I know. Hilarious. 3 road trips. Like, hilarious. And then Phoebe was like, yeah, no, I'm just driving back to Pittsburgh. And I was like, yes. And she was like, it's like kind of a long time. I was like, it's like 3 days.
Caroline's
it's
like
3
giving
weeks.
in this moment, it's giving like the little sister who like I would like get to go to the movie with Caroline and her friends, but I was hearing that there were other plans going on after, and I was like, and then we're going to Charlotte's house, and Caroline's like, oh, right.
Is that real?
Well, one time I don't think I actually, but that is that's a real feeling that people can feel. But we went to go see Monte Carlo together with your friends at the Galleria.
Yes, with Selena
Maybe
Layton.
Distinza. Yes.
Never forget. Yeah, Phoebe and I are just jamming out.
Totally jamming.
Anyway, the song "Say Yeah" really is a time capsule to Pittsburgh and early high school.
Fair
Getting
enough.
ready to like maybe go kiss a boy, but you
I
have
feel
braces.
like they don't use enough Mac Miller music. I mean, I know they'll play
agree.
like Party on Fifth Ave and stuff, but I feel like there's a lot that they could do with his catalog that could be cooler. But the Monday night intro, the like intro into the game was Wiz Khalifa talking, and then like talking about like the 2 teams, whatever, and then Chris Stapleton, because he does the Monday Night Football song every week. But then Snoop Dogg just starts like talking and rapping a little bit. And then at one point he's just on a building going like this.
Snoop, we love you.
I
Snoop,
love
we
that he
literally
loves the
you.
Steelers.
I know, it is.
And like
the
he
coolest
loves
thing.
the Steelers. Glorilla loves the Steelers. How do they find the Steelers and just decide that we're their team?
I don't know,
they're
but
not
it
from
makes
Pittsburgh.
me thrilled. Well, I was literally in line to get a drink last night, and there were these 2 people behind me, and they're like, "Excuse me, what is Icy Light?" And I was like, "Girl, I don't know." And then I was like, "Wait, I think it's Iron City Light." Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And they were like, "Oh, cool." And I was like, "Yeah." And then they were wearing like a bunch of like Steelers gear, but it was like armed forces. So I said, "Thank you for your service." And we were talking, and get this, I said that my dad's a Marine.
And they drop to their knees.
No. And the guy goes, "Oh, your dad was a Marine?"
I always get so uncomfortable when people say that to us.
And I literally looked at him and I said, "Well, not was, is." And he said, "Oh, right. Sorry." And
I thought the reverse was
"Yeah."
happening, because what will happen a lot of the times when I like want to bring dad's service up is I'll be like, I have to gauge if they're someone who's going to be like, was a Marine. If I'm like, I want to communicate in the first sentence that I say to you that he's not actively serving in the Marine Corps, but also some people think it's like a gotcha moment with me. Like, I don't know. It's once a Marine, always a Marine. And it's like, okay, yeah, I know. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
No,
But
I corrected this man, but I was like, he kind of had like
he
attitude.
corrected you?
No, I corrected him.
Wait,
I said,
but
okay, let me walk you through it again, because you got lost. I said to these people, "Thank you for your service." We're talking for a second. And then I bring up dad. I say, "My dad's a Marine." So I usually don't say was or is. I say dad's a Marine. And he goes, "Oh, your dad was a Marine?" And I said, well, not was, is. And he said, oh, right. And his wife was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, believe me, I've been corrected many times. And then I find out they're from Texas and they're only here for one game, for this game, and they're Steelers fans.
Isn't that, it's just crazy.
I was like, are y'all from here? They're like, no. Okay,
like,
sorry,
okay.
excuse me.
Okay,
You're
calm
like
down.
decked the hell out and you're at a Steelers game. So like, call me crazy for thinking, what, you're not from New Jersey. Like, where are you from? And yeah, Texas. But anyway, I had a great time at the Steelers game last night, but we have a lot to talk about.
I guess we do. Let's get into it.
So can I start with a couple of things? Because I want to talk about one little fun moment from my anniversary date with Anthony. And I'm going to give you guys a really good idea. If any of you are heading into your second year of marriage anniversary, it's kind of a weird one because I think I said it's like the cotton anniversary, and it's kind of like you could do sheets, but I don't really want to do that. So obviously he considered the cotton candy maker, which we're all very happy he didn't do. But we had an awesome anniversary, kept it pretty low key. Anthony had 2 sweatshirts made for me. Cotton sweatshirts with Charleston and drama. He had someone like draw Charleston and drama. And
wait, that's genius.
So one is Chuck and one is drama. I know, because he has Charleston and drama shirts that Kelly got him, but I don't have any Charleston and drama memorabilia, and that's an issue. So should we be making Charleston and drama memorabilia for the podcast? Let me know.
I think we should. And we also should do
Sid and Snoop.
BOTG.
We should. Yeah,
at this point,
sure.
Elvis too. Elvis should be the first one we put out.
You're right. Who is this diva? And it's going to be this diva.
That was okay, because Elvis either would have loved that or absolutely hated being called a diva.
But like
that
in a fun way.
That picture of his legs straight up.
How else do you describe it?
It is like, who is this diva? I saw a video of this, like, and this video made me like short of breath a bit, because I was like, oh my God, if you drop this dog, if I'm like about to watch something terrible happen, it's going to be a bad day. But it was like this little high school boy who was on the cheerleading team.
Oh my God.
Practicing his like stuff with his dog in the driveway.
Wow. Wait, cute.
It was really cute, but like doing like flips and like letting go of the dog. And like, I was like nervous, but
Right, what were the comments like?
Well, who is this diva? Because this dog had her feet flexed
pointed
the entire time.
That's a point, Phoebe. That is a point.
Sorry, Abby Lee. The entire time. Exactly how Elvis did when I had him when I was. And why was he doing that? Was he so afraid I was going to be able to hold up his body weight that he like locked himself in?
It's giving you and me when someone tries to pick us up. And we're like, instead of when people go full noodle and dead weight, we go like as stiff as we possibly can.
Man, we really
make it impossible.
We really should have empathized with Elvis more when he would do his like groaning and like completely.
He's like, don't pick me up, and I'm like, just let me love you.
The heaviest he'd ever been was when he saw us coming towards him with our hands.
Yeah. Well, nothing is funnier than mom now like fat shaming Elvis in death. Mom being like, wow,
I did not realize how big he was.
But honestly, it is funny now because we've got like Sid and Snoop, and so
we're like regular size.
Seeing a photo of Elvis now, I was like, holy shit! Like,
to be really big. He did have. I mean, there are certain pictures, and he had a big mass towards the end of his life.
Oh, true. Remember when Mom famously was petting Elvis, found a bunch of fat tumors on him, but didn't know they were fat tumors, thought they were real tumors. Lost her mind, finds a replacement dog online that she thinks looks like Elvis. By the way, that dog is Snoop Dogg. They do not, you would not get them confused, okay? She's like, okay, we're getting this dog. The kids will never know. Caroline's at college. You won't even tell her. And then it turns out Elvis is fine. It's just fat tumors. But now Mom's in love with this other dog, the replacement dog. So now we have to get him too. Miserable. But why is this dog so fucked up?
And now Elvis is miserable. Guys, when we got Snoop, the owner handed Snoop off to Lily, and like my mom and Lily went to go get Snoop, and neither of them saw Snoop on the ground at all before they put him in the car. And then when they get home, they put Snoop down on the sidewalk to like walk up to the house, and he doesn't move. And Mom and Lily are like, oh my God, did we just adopt a dog that cannot walk?
I know.
And not that there's anything wrong with that. That would have been a noble cause, but we didn't know that part, which is why we were like, wait,
this was supposed to be
this
a dog
should have
that
been
walks.
disclosed.
Yeah. Don't worry, he can walk, but it's like at what cost? he walks like a model. He walks like Tyra Banks, like 1 foot in front of the fucking other. Let me tell you, like he has such bad hip dysplasia that like he can't help but walk like Carly Kloss at the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Okay, so a couple things. Number one, Anthony got me the most beautiful bouquet of flowers sitting right in front of me. And it's all these like pinks and whites. And he told them that he asked them to make it look like cotton candy, which I think
really
is so
sweet.
cute. Such a fun like riff on it. And then we went to dinner.
I'm still
We
listening.
had a server. Yeah, right? I don't want you to walk away because you might react to the story.
Okay.
So where are you going?
Just to the kitchen real quick.
Okay, just go and then come back.
Okay.
Phoebe's actually like, okay, weird that you don't want me to walk away while you're telling a story. Okay, so we went to Il Pete's, and first of all,
I haven't been there in so long.
oh, it was great. Well, we tried to go. We actually tried really hard not to go there, not for any reason. But first, we tried Leo Greta, which is like, if you're in Pittsburgh, that's our favorite Italian restaurant. It's so good. It's in Carnegie. They're
Is Papa
closed on
J's still
Tuesdays.
open?
I don't know. They're closed on Tuesday. So then we tried to go to Dianoia's in the Strip, and they were completely booked. So then we were like, we'll go to Il Pete's, which is always great, but like we were just going to try something else. So we get there, and a couple things happen. The first thing is that our server's name is Josh, and Josh starts the night off by telling us there are no rules. He goes, hi guys, welcome to Pizza. Have you been here before? We're like, yeah. He's like, I'm Josh, and tonight there are no rules. Can I take your order? And we're like,
Which,
sweet.
guys, if I know that most of you have probably never been to El Pizziolo.
There are rules at this restaurant.
That vibe is like, what a breath of fresh air. Because listen, the food at El Pizziolo is so good. And that
So
is why it's
good.
worth, and the ambiance is great. Like, it's worth going there.
Yeah.
But there is kind of like a feeling of like, in the words of someone from my sorority class, it's like clenched butt cheeks when you're in there the entire time.
Yes. It's like that with a mix of when you walk in, the people who work there and own the place look at you like, how dare you?
Literally,
When we walk
you're
in.
like, sorry to impose.
Yeah. But it's like you just deal with it because the food is so fucking good. And I mean, like, honestly, we know a ton of the people that work there, so that's not like real. But anyway, it is funny. So yeah, he says there are no rules, and we're like, shocked and excited. So we're like, do you guys have any burrata tonight? Because a lot of times they'll have it on special, but it's not on the menu for some fucking reason. And like, obviously I want it. So I was like, do you have any? And he's like, oh yeah, of course we have burrata. And I was like, awesome. This is great. Then yes, we'll do the burrata. He's like, oh, well, the burrata pizza. And I was like, oh no, we just want like burrata, like without. And he goes, yeah, I can't do that. We're like,
Okay, what
so
happened to no rules?
Where's the Josh that just told us there are no fucking rules? Like, where did he go? And he goes, yeah, I don't know why they won't change it. Cause like we get asked all the time, and I ask them all the time and they say no. So I don't know why. And it's like, okay, so it seems like you actually knew there were rules. It seems like you knew there were rules.
You
here.
actually, what we were just describing about the entire feeling of that restaurant, you were aware of it.
Yes, exactly. But I'm also like, what do you mean you only offer burrata on pizza? Like, that is kind of like, if you have
it's also like,
burrata.
and if people are asking for it, it's not like it's a waste of money to buy it and like you need to
But
leave
low
it for
key,
the
that
pizza.
is again so classic, like the owner of El Pete's. Like, I think one time someone asked for like an adjustment on a pizza, and he like came and yelled at the table.
I feel like it was like someone who asked for like either like Parmesan or like red pepper flake, like things that you would ask for at a
No,
pizza
it was-
restaurant.
It's still something you ask for at a pizza
It
restaurant.
might have
which
been
is like,
salt.
it was like, can I just not have this thing on there? Like, can I get a pizza without whatever? And they like, literally the guy came over and was like, no, like, and like yelled at them, which is fine. But like, that is, again, we go in there knowing that that's what it is.
The
So then
vibe.
when we were told there were no rules, which we hadn't even like tried to break any yet. We just asked about the burrata, and like he made it seem like of course we could have it, and then he's like, just kidding, it's on pizza. And we're like, okay, well that's different. So then he comes and we order salads and an appetizer, and we're like, we're ready to like be here for a while, have a really nice dinner. And he goes, okay. And then he comes back over and he's like, do you guys want me to move you to a bigger table? It's just me and Anthony. Now, to be fair, our table was small. It was one of those round tables in the corner by the window. But literally, he's like, I was thinking like we just put you guys here. But like, I just don't know if you're going to have room for everything.
Oh my God, I'd have to move. I'm
like, okay, we're in the window. Tell me what this is really about, Josh. Do you not want people to see us disgustingly shoveling this food into our mouths? So you want to move us to the back of the restaurant? Or do you genuinely want us to have more space for all the massive amounts of food we're ordering? Like,
oh my God.
I was like, no, we're good. I was like, we'll stay here. We'll be fine. Thanks. Like, we've ordered at a restaurant before. We could figure it out. So he leaves, comes back, and I've now like, made it work. And he goes, wow, you guys are doing great making all this fit. I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, oh my God. It was making me think of when one time Chloe and I went to get pizza in Charleston, and the server came back. We had each eaten like a slice or two of pizza. And the server goes, actually, like, you ready for a box? And Chloe's like, no, like we're like, no,
we're gonna eat this pizza.
We're still eating. And also it was like, we were in college, we had like a coupon to go get like a free pizza too. So I think like this was, if I remember correctly, we were like poor.
If I remember correctly,
we were poor and we were like, we're eating this fucking pizza, all of it. So she leaves, we like get another slice, we're starting to eat. She comes back, she's like, ready for a box? We're like, still no, like, no, bitch, we're still eating. And then like she comes back and she just like keeps being like, now are you ready for a box? And Chloe's like getting heated. Chloe is like, oh my God. I'm like, Chloe, if you feel like this, imagine how I feel. You know, like, imagine.
I mean, the waiter to Chloe could be like, do you want another one?
Yeah, and me.
Yeah.
And the waiter could say that to me, you fucking bitch. Massive biatch. Anyway, so whatever, the food comes out or we eat whatever. Then we're ordering our entrees. We order the exact same thing. This never happens, but we both order the gnocchi. And it just comes with like the sauce that it comes with. And we both order it. And the waiter looks at Anthony and goes, okay, and do you want to try the Rosa sauce? And Anthony's like, what is that? And he's like, yeah, it's sort of like a pinker sauce. It's like creamy and cheesy, and like people really love it. And Anthony's like, okay. He goes, okay, yeah, you want to do the Rosa sauce? Okay, sweet. All right. And he leaves.
Well, maybe his thought process was like, if you guys
I'm
are
good.
getting,
Anthony was like, and he goes to you, and you can have the fucking slop. like
no, I feel like he was like
an Anthony.
I feel like he was like probably like, if you guys are getting the same exact thing, one of you should get something slightly different so that you guys can.
I feel like he was backpedaling. He was like, I need to prove to them that there aren't any rules. You can get a different kind of sauce if you want. You can move a table if you want.
You hear a single gunshot in the back of the restaurant when the order's sent in. And you hear someone scream, there are rules for a reason.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And then finally, we're finished. He comes back and he's like, dessert now, right? You know, he's like, oh, Phoebe's gone. Oh, that's why I love when Phoebe leaves in the middle of the story, because she would have laughed at that. Yeah, she is laughing. She is laughing, but I don't know what she's laughing at. Oh my God.
That's so fucking funny.
The fact that he goes, no, right?
No, right? Oh my God.
And we're both like, no, obviously not, even though we might have asked. But anyway, so that was our anniversary dinner. It was, and you know what's so funny is we came back and Anthony's like, that was like the best meal I've had in so long. Like, it didn't even take away from how good the food was. It was actually just so funny. Like,
Yeah,
it
I feel
was
like
just,
it couldn't have taken. Honestly, that sounds
No.
like the most pleasant dining experience that's ever taken place in that restaurant.
laughing so hard. It was so fucking funny. But okay, so that's that.
Did you get
Then-
dessert?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Hey
We
waiters,
ran
if you want
home.
your tab to get run up on this table, don't lead with no, right?
No, right? You're definitely full,
Be
right?
be like, so dessert, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I can't.
Or don't offer it at all if you think that they don't need it. Don't bring it up at all.
Yeah, pretend you don't have any. Like, it was so funny. Also during that meal, someone came up to our table to say
said,
hello
"Wait,
to me and was like,
I was on your
"You're
ghost
like
tour."
a local celebrity." No, the ghost tour hadn't happened yet. But now that the ghost tour has happened, would
For
you like
your
to hear about it?
Yes, but did they recognize you for your lessons or for the podcast?
Well, it's someone that like we know. Like, it's
Okay.
someone that like we know, but I haven't seen them in a very long time, and it was very funny for this mother to come up to me and like hug me,
Who?
kiss me on the cheeks, and tell me that I'm like a local celebrity. Anyway, so the ghost tour was actually really fun, and I wish you had been here because I think you would have really liked it.
Okay.
It was pretty interesting. Okay, you don't think you would have?
Well, I think I would have been scared out of my mind.
I don't think you would have been. I don't think you would have been, because, well, the second night there was a little kid who was, I mean, not like a little kid, but he was younger, and he was scared out of his mind for sure. And so was I, because he had a red flashlight hat on, and it scared the fuck out of me in the abandoned building when I see like I'm suddenly bathed in red light, and I'm like, where the hell is this coming from?
Like, okay, you
And then
guys brought a red light and no camera, no professional
really
camera for these
interesting.
pics.
But we did get some crazy shit to happen in one room. So we go to this building. It's called the Hustler Building, and it's been abandoned for over 90 years, and it's 4 floors. So the first and second floors right now are like, they house the Historical Society, whatever. The third floor used to be a secret society place, but only for like a year, and then it was completely abandoned and nobody knows why. And then the 4th floor was a speakeasy. And apparently, I didn't know this, Pittsburgh was like popping during the Prohibition era. It had like 2,000 nightclubs.
Rock and roll.
How crazy is that? Yeah. So this was one of them. And it's kind of neat because there are like tons of doors and little rooms on the 4th floor that people would like hide in. And there are peepholes because during raids and stuff, like people would. So it's like a very creepy, it lends itself to a creepy place. There's also something called a booze chute, which is where people like during raids, they would throw all the liquor out the door and it would go down to the creek. But it's a 4-story death drop, basically. And the door still opens. So like before I go up there, the tour guide was like, or the girl who like runs it, in the daytime, we didn't go in the building. I thought we were going to go in. So I'd get to go there before I like lead everybody in at nighttime, but no.
Right.
No. So she like said that, anyway, she was like, it opens. Make sure no one opens it. I was like, okay. She's like,
Okay,
like,
and you're
they
not
will
going to tell me
die.
which door it is?
Like they'll for sure. She was like, there's like green tape on it and stuff. I was like, yeah, well, I hope I find it. There's no electricity up there. So we go up. There's this guy named Jeff who works there. Volunteers. And I couldn't believe that when he said he volunteered, because he was there at like 9 p.m. on Friday and Saturday night alone. And he gives like this little spiel. I thought he was going to walk us up there. I thought he was going to take us. No, he's like, all right, Carol, there you go. First of all, it's Caroline. Second of all, oh my God. So I am walking first up these steps into just pure darkness, like pure darkness in this fucking abandoned building. Nothing is up to code. I honestly cannot believe we're allowed up there. They're like wooden planks just like hanging from the middle of the ceiling. Like the steps are all uneven.
Did people have to sign a waiver?
Yes. Everyone signed waivers. Yes. Not me though. Anyway, so we go up. The 3rd floor is like creepy, but whatever. The 4th floor, like there is like a noticeable shift in like energy when you get up there. Mom went in the back room with the booze chute, and she was like very freaked out. Like she was like, there is something, like, I don't know. So we had something called a ghost net, which, do you know what that is?
No.
That's hilarious. I just said, do you know what that is? It is like a laser grid. It looks like a flashlight. It's a laser grid. You point at shit.
So not a net. So
No,
not a net.
It looks like a net. You know what I mean? Like it's a grid. So it looks like a net.
Okay.
Ghosts don't get caught in real nets because ghosts don't take up any space. So a real net wouldn't work, Fee. Anyway,
Well, I
it
hold
looks like a
space
flashlight.
for them.
Oh, that's nice of you. It has a ghost net. If it dims, if the lights dim, it means there's like a presence. Or if they like move or something, it means there's a presence. So we're leaving the 4th floor, and I'm like the last one up there with Mom and like this one other person. And I point it at this corner, and it like immediately dims. And Mom didn't really see it, but the other girl did. She's like, ah! She was like, oh my God, do it again. And we were like freaked out. We were like, oh my God, crazy, whatever. So we leave the building. Next night, I go up, and the first person up to the 4th floor, I press the button on the corner, and immediately dims again. And I was like, oh my God, like there is something here. Behind me, somebody's walking up the steps, and I hear like beep, 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 beep. They have an electromagnetic like sensor or whatever. That they're like big ghost people. They said they have like a spreadsheet of every ghost tour they've ever gone on. Gettysburg is their favorite. Like they're ghost people. It's going off like crazy.
They're ghosts.
Are you two ghosts? The thing's going off in the corner right where the ghost net is. The ghost net then is like dimming. Like it's like, yes, it's like moving basically. And we're like, oh my God. Like, and there's this room right behind it. Super active in there too.
Okay, if that's happening, I'm gonna be like looking at the ghost. I'm gonna be like, okay, girl, do something. This can't be it. Push someone over.
I need to go back in there because you guys
have beef. You guys have something you have to do.
I didn't know what I should have done. I didn't know what I should have done, but now I do. I should have started to get communication going. Is what I should have done. I should have said this. I Googled it. I should have said, if there is something here, like please, like beep, make this beep or something. Like you can try to like open the communication with them through like what you have.
Do you know the video?
I didn't do that. I wish I had.
Of Demi Lovato when she went ghost hunting.
Oh yeah, and she started singing Skyscraper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I think
guys, for those of you
like,
who haven't, Phoebe, explain this fucking video.
She like thinks that singing Skyscraper is gonna heal some part of this ghost's trauma. So she goes into this other room where the ghost hunters stay in one room, and she goes to this other room.
All night vision.
And it's all night vision.
It
so
looks horrifying.
She looks crazy in this video, and she's singing. And then when she finishes, she goes,
"You can take everything."
She goes when she's done. She goes, "That was good."
That was good.
I think she might have even said she needed that.
I know. She was like, I feel all their trauma. Like she says something like that, and she's like compelled to sing Skyscraper. God, I love pop culture. I love the internet. I love that we have this, But anyway, I should have tried to get the lines of communication open. I didn't. But all the people are coming up at this point, and they're all like seeing this happening too, and they're like really intrigued, obviously. So they're like hanging around, and then it goes away. And I think it got like shy or annoyed or something, and it went away and it stopped happening. And then at the end of the night, I was trying to get it to happen again, and it wouldn't.
Did you go back up there by yourself?
No. I just mean like I was the last one up there, so like I was like trying to do it again.
You're like, no, I promise. She looked at you and she was like, why'd you bring all these people here?
I know. I was like, I'm sorry, like you're not a sideshow to me. And it didn't work. But what's interesting is the people with the sensor, they were like, okay, but if that had been electricity or like something like that we could explain like that, then it wouldn't have gone away. Like it would be there the whole time. If it was actually electricity that this caught or something like that.
So you heard it here first, guys. We believe
ghosts
in ghosts.
are real. Well, I do. And every now and then I'm like, like when I'm going to bed and I start getting scared of ghosts, as I do, I'll be like, ghosts aren't real. And then I'm like, what if they heard that? I'm like, I'm just kidding. I know you're real. I totally believe in you. I just don't want. I'm just saying that to protect myself. I totally believe in you guys. I totally do. I don't want to hang out right now. That's what I usually have to say.
Dark.
But anyway,
I believe in ghosts for sure.
there's one more. Can I tell one more creepy story from it?
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm like annoying, but this is Halloween, so it's fine.
Well, people wanted to know.
Okay, there's a story called Burned Alive. Okay, I'll tell the story. But this stop on the tour, everyone, like almost everyone who took a photo got like an orb, or there's this like green light that was like coming through in the same place like where it would be. And it happened both nights, and you can't see it with your eyes. And I don't know how else to explain that to you. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. But, okay. So it was the Klee family fire, all right? This is in, like, I think 1906 or something. And
so many family fires back then.
Well, yes. The first floor of their home was a grocery store. And the top floor they lived. And it was Mr. Klee, Mrs. Klee, and their 7 children. 7 kids. So, and they're in their 40s, and the kids are young. So I think the youngest kid was 4 years old. Wow. So the fire starts at like 4 a.m, and somebody does see it and sound the alarm, but it's too late. By this point, the flames have already completely blocked off the Klee's exit from the house, the only way to get down and out of the house. So Mr. and Mrs. Klee quickly realized the only way to save their kids would be to drop them out the window one by one, which is like a 20-foot drop. Jesus. So he starts dropping all the kids out, and every single one of them had serious injuries, but they all survived.
Wow.
And whatever. Well, not all the kids, but all the kids he was dropping out survived. So he's getting really tired. Little Harry Klee comes up, 4 years old, and he already has like burns on his hands, his feet, his face. And Mr. Klee's like really struggling, but he's able to get him out. But that's the last kid he's able to get out. The last one is Mary. She's 9 years old. She passes away, is burned alive, along with Mother Klee, 43 years old. And Mr. Klee had to be forcibly removed. He would not leave the burning building. He would not leave them behind.
But he lived?
He lived. Had to be forcibly removed. And the entire house was burned to the ground.
That's
Phoebe's
crazy.
pissed off that the dad lived.
Well, I'm just like, what the? I'm like, okay, you were too tired to get the other kids out, but you I find out you lived?
Well,
I find out you lived.
He tried. Wouldn't leave the
Caroline
house.
is a Mr. Klee apologist.
Well, he wouldn't leave the house. Anyway.
He wanted to play the martyr.
He had to be forcibly removed from the burning building. So I don't know. Anyway, the ashes of Mother Klee and Mary were found like in an embrace together, like in the house. It was like all burned, whatever. Anyway, but those two are said to still be haunting that corner, and that is exactly where all these people took photos, and there are 2 little green orbs right over the fucking Family Dollar in Carnegie on Broadway. So if you're interested in seeing it, it's
Family
like right
Dollar.
over there. It's over the Family Dollar. And
Wait,
I had a really great joke.
What a great little like way to pay homage to this family.
The Family Dollar. I was walking back, and I was like, and now we're going to go to the parking lot of the Family Dollar. Ooh.
Did that joke kill?
Like that joke killed. I had a couple jokes that killed, and I just realized like humor was kind of going to be my thing for the ghost stories. And it worked for me.
Did it make you think you could have done stand up?
I do think I could do stand up, and I don't think it's could have done. I think it's no. That's
not what I meant. I didn't mean to ask it that way. I just meant like,
no. I mean, yeah, I do think I could do it, but the thing is, I'm so scared of it. Yeah, but this feels like it. You know what I mean? When we do this, like,
yeah,
it's the same shit. Anyway, whatever. It's not. You guys do really hard work. I have a lot to talk about, but I just talked for so long, so I feel like it's your turn. Rosetta Stone. Back in 2022, I traveled to Rome with my husband for our honeymoon, and the trip was incredible. But with all the chaos leading up to our wedding, time to learn the Italian language grew scarce. We always intended to learn at least some Italian before getting on the plane, but every time we tried, something got in the way. But now I'm using Rosetta Stone and learning Italian so that our next trip to Italy is even more amazing.
Rosetta Stone is the most trusted language learning program. It's available on desktop or as an app, and it truly immerses you in the language that you want to learn. Personally, I'm most excited to learn Spanish so that I can appreciate Spanish-speaking TV shows and Spanish pop culture to the fullest.
Rosetta Stone has been a trusted expert for 30 years with millions of users and 25 languages offered, including Spanish, French, Italian, Korean, Dutch, Arabic, Polish, and more.
And it can help you learn a language fast. There are no English translations, so you really learn to speak, listen, and think in that language. And the process is super intuitive and designed for long-term retention.
Rosetta Stone also features a built-in true accent feature, which gives you feedback on your pronunciation. A built-in dialect coach? Count me in.
Rosetta Stone is so convenient, so flexible, and the best part is the value. Rosetta Stone offers a lifetime membership featuring all 25 languages. That's lifetime access to all 25 language courses Rosetta Stone offers for 50% off. An absolute steal.
Don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. The Pretty Little Podcast listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/today.
That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off with code PrettyLittlePodcast at rosettastone.com/today. Hormone harmony. Yes, Road Warriors, the rumors are true. Sometimes when I hop on to record the pod, I am a little cranky, and that's thanks to PMS. Obviously, talking with Caroline cheers me up, but sometimes even that's not enough.
Well, Phoebe, it's a lot easier to manage PMS with Hormone Harmony, along with so many other things. And I love that it supports cortisol levels and helps balance my mood swings. Yes, I also sometimes experience those. And obviously, I benefit from the improved sleep quality.
Hormone Harmony contains science-backed herbal extracts called adaptogens, and they're amazing because they literally help the body adapt to any stressors, which makes sense because Happy Mammoth, the company that created Hormone Harmony, is dedicated to making women's lives easier because women's stories matter. It has 0 sugar, it's gluten-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, and third-party tested.
And Phoebe, did you know a bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds?
Actually, I did know that, and I'm pretty sure I'm the one who told you.
Anyway, for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code PrettyLittlePodcast at checkout.
That's happymammoth.com and use the code PrettyLittlePodcast for 15% off today.
Mochi Health. Phoebe, have you ever had a doctor who just didn't listen to you?
Who hasn't?
Good question. Well, Mochi Health understands that weight loss can be a frustrating and seemingly impossible journey, and they're not just listening, they're taking action.
They're taking a holistic approach to weight loss that includes visits with board-certified doctors, nutrition consultations, and science-backed medications delivered right to your front door.
With Mochi, their dietitians work hand in hand with your medication to create personalized nutrition plans that fit your lifestyle.
Mochi Health is making it easier to make sustainable changes and achieve real weight loss results with science-backed, FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, support from real doctors, and guidance from registered dietitians.
And the best part is that it's affordable and accessible regardless of your insurance coverage.
Well, actually, the best part is that Road Warriors can use the code PrettyLittlePodcast for $40 off.
Oh my God, you are so right. So get started at joinmochi.com and use code PrettyLittlePodcast for $40 off.
And in case you missed it, that's joinmochi.com and use code PrettyLittlePodcast for $40 off. We can talk about Salt Lake City. What a crazy fucking episode.
That was how fucking funny. Okay, guys, let us set the scene in case you didn't see it. And Phoebe, by the way, you're my best friend.
So embarrassing.
Except for she makes like a circle almost.
Yeah.
She's so funny.
She's like, I know that there's a difference between like the millennial hearts, the Gen Z hearts, but like this is like the old millennial heart.
I mean, it's just a circle. She's like, this is the anatomically correct heart. Brittany is like the new friend of the Housewives this season.
She is.
And
Guys.
she's tough. She's tough to deal with.
Yeah.
Because she is that friend that we've all had that it's like, shut the fuck up about your stupid boyfriend. Like, she has been dating Jared Osmond, who Lisa Barlow aptly calls a D-list Osmond, for like,
which means you're like, you know how on Excel when you get to the end of the alphabet in your column, so it starts doing like A, B, A, C.
Yeah.
Like a D-list Osmond is like
a
ZZ.
Yeah. Like it's, yeah. Brittany's been dating this guy for like, she's like, we've been dating for 8 months and we've broken up 16 times. And they like get back together all the time or whatever.
Because they're in their 40s.
It's
not
just
to
like,
age shame, but like you're too old to be doing that.
it is she has children who won't speak to her because of this. Like it's really sad, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So she and Jared are off and they show up to Angie's 25th wedding anniversary party. And she shows up with another guy that's one of Heather's friends. And she's like kissing him on the lips. Like, yeah, Heather and him have made out, which Heather wanted everybody to know right away.
Mm-hmm. And Brittany was probably like, shut up.
I know, she's so bad. And Brittany just wants to be like wifed up so bad that she's like willing to pretend she's wifed up with this guy.
And by the way, like this guy was like on the roster. Like this was like she was like on the roster. It wasn't.
Yes.
And she also in one of her confessionals, she goes, anytime Jared and I break up, I immediately unpause myself on all the
go
apps.
on Tinder. Yes.
Oh
like
my God. Brittany.
She's not well. So she's here. And Mary,
if you're
Cosby,
in your 20s, if you're in your 20s doing that, that's
still,
fine.
No, it's still not fine. Because you could really fuck up your life. Seriously. Remember that.
Okay.
It is still not fine. Don't listen to Phoebe.
The stakes are not as high to like go back on the dating apps.
They're not as high, but when you're in your 20s, like just don't underestimate, okay? That you could really fuck up your life. You do not know what is possible, what will happen. So if you think it's just fun, whatever, sometimes it might be. But once you start getting the sense that you're a little bit too invested or he's a little bit too fucked up or something isn't right here, it's no longer like fun and cute and quirky and haha. It's get the fuck out, because you're going to find yourself in 5 years with a fucking kid or with a live-in child that's actually your boyfriend or with whatever. You're going to find yourself in a position that's harder to get out of. You might find yourself with herpes. Okay?
I just catastrophized in a crazy way.
Herpes is forever. That is how my brain works. So welcome. Welcome everyone to the real haunted ghost tour. Anyway, Mary
it's
Cosby.
A haunted house, but it's the inside of Carolyn's head.
Yeah, literally. Mary Cosby going up to Brittany and saying, "Hi, Jared," and walking away. I was like, no, Mary Cosby knows that's not Jared.
I thought that too, but then like in the
so
confessionals,
funny.
I was like, wait, I think she genuinely was like, I think she does not care at all about anything, that she was like, sure,
No.
that's Jared.
But she didn't say hi to anyone else, which I think is the funniest thing. I thought she was being messy. And then when she's trying to convince Meredith that it's Jared.
Oh my God.
No, that's
and
Jared.
Meredith is like,
Go
that is
ask
not
him.
Jared. Go ask him. And she goes, don't look it up. Don't look it up.
Don't look it up, because Mary knows. It's so...
Jared shows up because, and Whitney thinks it's cute in her little,
It's not.
her little confessional.
No.
Whitney's like, that was Justin.
Yeah, Justin and Jared are friends. And that kind of slipped past me because I've been on my healing journey. I haven't even really noticed what Justin's been doing. But Justin and Jared are really close. So yeah.
I also am like,
invited
okay,
him.
then we have Justin's confessional where he's like, yeah, I just thought it would be cool if he like stopped by. It's an anniversary party.
Well, also, we see the text Justin sent. And the text Justin sent said, Brittany is here with someone else.
I forgot about that.
So, hey, Justin,
Messy.
you can go fuck yourself. Like, I'm not team Brittany or team Jared, but I am team don't be a fucking dick bag. And I'm also team not the roses.
Not the roses.
Not Whitney, Wild Rose, and company. Like, I just can't.
And then I don't like how, I know that Justin was like sticking up for Whitney in the end with the Lisa stuff, but it's like,
he was going to fight her?
You also don't get to talk to Lisa like that.
He also acted like he was going to lay hands on Lisa.
It was really weird, I thought.
Hey, JB, get in there. What the hell are we doing?
I know, John's
I
like,
was a little bit like,
John's
like, I know.
okay.
Lisa's like, John, I can handle myself.
Lisa's literally like, okay. Lisa's like, hit me. See what happens.
Yeah. Hit me.
See,
no,
see?
I would honestly fucking love it. I would
See
love
who
it.
ends up in the hospital.
If you hit me. Mom said to me, Goose, you do have like a little Lisa Barlow and you don't even realize it. And she said it like not in like a nice way.
I think my
was
mom
like,
doesn't love Lisa Barlow the way that we do.
she doesn't. And that's why I was like, then don't say that to me. Because you obviously mean it and not
I think
a nice
she means
way.
in your voice, because even when you're not doing the Lisa Barlow voice, there are certain things that you will say and it sounds a little bit like Lisa Barlow.
Yeah, mom doesn't like that. Mom,
Well, mom
I could
needs to
tell,
grow up.
wasn't saying it as like a, oh, that's so funny. Anyway.
I would love Lisa Barlow, and listen, I want go the distance on it tattooed across my shoulders, like on my back.
Hi, Sean. Sean, I need to open up an investigation. I'm being accused of doing something I did not do, and I'm gonna send you some information. I'm gonna go to the distance on it. Yeah, the distance.
And it's like, Whitney, do you know what you just got yourself into?
Whitney's
Because we also find out that
Whitney's
the
crazy
guy who had the conversation with Whitney asked Bravo to include the part of the conversation that he had with Whitney where he said it was not Lisa.
Wait, did they?
Yes. No, they didn't include that part.
Oh,
but
because I was like, I missed that.
The guy who called Whitney came out and said that he wanted that included, that he said it was not Lisa. So Whitney has completely contrived this because she wants a reason to paint Lisa as the villain.
Yes.
And Lisa is vapid. Lisa is whatever she is, but she's never going to really seem like the villain to me.
And she likes who she is.
Exactly.
I like, this is Lisa Barlow. I like who I am. I'm not changing who I am. I like me.
And that's
I'm
why
good
to
with
me. That's why to me, I'm like, she literally will never be the villain because she does not care about anybody else.
She doesn't give a fuck.
So it's like,
Lisa's always been the villain. I love when Whitney started talking like Lisa, and then Lisa's like, oh, should I talk like you? It was so fucking funny. I realized a new dream of mine is to voice a character in an animated movie.
oh, that'd be so good.
How have I never like thought of how much I would love to do that? And do you want to know what gave me the idea?
No.
I've been watching a movie series a lot, and I love it. I love it, and I want you to guess it. It's animated.
It's a series?
Yeah, there are two.
Oh, there
at
are only
least.
two.
I don't know if there are three, but there are two.
Is it Disney?
Because I've watched two. I don't think
Then
so.
no.
It's like
Then no, it's
Disney
not.
adjacent.
I have no idea.
Come on, give me. You didn't even guess anything yet.
Can you give me like
Three.
a vibe?
It's October. That's like a huge hint.
Okay, Monsters Inc. You've seen
No.
Monsters Inc.
No, but Phoebe, the Pittsburgh Science Center is having a Pixar exhibit, and then Mike Wazowski's on the billboard. And it's just like explaining the magic of Pixar.
When?
I don't know. Like now, I think I saw last night. I told Anthony I really want to go.
Wait. I'm gonna drive
You have to fly
up.
home. You have to come home. No, I know, Phoebe. I know. It's not Monsters Inc., but I'm so glad you said that. See, thank God I made you guess. How else would you have known about the Science Center exhibit?
It's there till January 5th.
Oh, yes. Then we can go together. Oh, my God. Best Christmas ever.
Wow.
Isn't that going to be fun? Oh, my God. Yay. I used to want to work at Pixar so bad because they all ride around on scooters. I thought that was so cool.
It's like when they
Anyway.
make movies about and the people work at Google and you're like,
Yeah.
wait, Google seems so fun, but then you realize that, like it's just a math
It's
job.
actually a hellscape.
That's why they
like
have to
everything
make
else.
it. That's why they have to make it seem so fun because everybody's
Yes.
miserable.
Yeah, of course. Okay, 2 more guesses. It's not Monsters Inc. But you're like kind of on the right like path in terms of like genre.
Dude, I don't know.
Seriously, you don't even have one more.
Shrek?
No, Hotel Transylvania. 1 and 2.
It's DreamWorks.
They're so good. Have you seen them?
No.
Oh my God, there is this hilarious part. Okay, the Dracula's unreal funny. And they're all driving in a car and they're like, do you know where you're going? And they're like, just stop it. And he's like, no, seriously, do you know where you're going? And Dracula's driving and he goes, I just have to roll. he finds out where he's going. But I just have to roll.
Guys, Caroline is making herself laugh like crazy.
Oh my God. It's such a funny movie.
That
It's
is so funny.
Good. It is so good. And I was like,
I love this movie series that I'm watching right now. I thought there were going to be like 8 films. There's 2.
there are at least two. Hopefully more. Selena Gomez plays Mavis.
I know she's in it. Well, did you see that she's reprising her role as Alex Russo?
Well, duh. I don't live under a rock.
And she's like, I think she needed this actually. Like this
I do too.
She needed to go back to her roots.
Back to your roots. Yep.
Because I mean, Alex Russo truly will go down in history as one of the funniest characters, and it's because of Selena Gomez, and that's why she's able to make it work with. I feel like people often overlook how much of a powerhouse you have to be to like
lead
even
a Disney show.
No, but also to be on an even playing field in this show with Martin Short and Steve Martin.
Oh yeah,
like she holds her own completely in that show, and I didn't even watch it, but. I mean,
it's amazing. It's
the
amazing.
fact that she can do that and people aren't constantly talking about how she's falling short.
Well, it's like what I told you about
really
how
impressive.
I ran into that person we know who like doesn't seem like someone who would be like, oh, Selena Gomez rocks, but they're watching Only Murders and they were like, no, Selena Gomez like holds her own, like she's great. And I like that made me so happy. Like it like warmed my heart because it just is so hard for women to be taken seriously as it is, and then like
to be next to them.
Yeah, like I mean, it would be very easy for her to not be good or to do fine and to look like she's not that good compared to who she's on screen with. So I think she's killing it. I'm so excited for the Wizards of Waverly Place reboot.
I know. I'm stoked. Well, in the time that we took on our break, not only did I have a meeting, but I also joined AMC A-List.
Ooh.
Which is kind of like Movie
fancy.
Pass. Except it's a little bit more expensive, but you get 3 free movies a week.
A week?
Mm-hmm.
How much is it?
I'm paying $25 a month.
Okay. So
like even if I go to 2 movies in 1 week, even if I go to 2 movies in a month, that's
a month.
More than a ticket.
That's how I feel about that is really great. The problem is,
and I think you get 15% off on all concessions. But I mean,
okay,
I think that just brings it down to regular pricing at Cinemark.
Okay. Because I do think Cinemark is cheaper even without the discount. Like it's pretty cheap.
Concession wise, for sure. I don't know about the tickets, but
but the concessions
like tonight, I'm seeing Smile too because I can.
Okay, I want to go see that. Maybe I'll ask Kelly to go tonight, and it'll be like we're seeing it together.
Yes, but I did this because, well, Mimi kind of confused me. I was like getting ready to buy both of our tickets for Wicked because I was like logging on. So I bought our tickets. Like I bought 2 tickets, but I got 1 free because of A-List. And so I told Mimi that it worked, and she had just canceled her A-List. And so I fully bought the ticket.
Yeah.
And she goes, okay, just release that seat. I'm gonna get A-List now and get that. And I was like, okay, we couldn't have planned this before I pulled the trigger. Now I have to wait 72 hours for my $18 back.
$18 is crazy. Are you seeing it in the big fancy?
No, just regular, but you're gonna be obsessed with where our seats are. Let me show you. If it'll even load.
Just want to let you all know that the fall collection of the bar sweatshirts just went on sale, and I did get one. You're the way back corner.
Those 2, yeah.
See, okay.
And I know that you like having a better, but I would rather not be around people.
Okay, but
and
listen.
I picked this side because there's only 1 extra seat.
Okay, yeah.
So that means that the likelihood of there won't be a lot of people, and this whole space.
Well, that's what I was
like
gonna say. Like
fuzzy carpet.
Can you screenshot that so we can post it? Because I like that the 3 seats, 2 of which belong to you, are like their own little island. But I was thinking for my first time seeing Wicked, I literally might go against what I always sit on the aisle.
Sit in dead center.
I might go dead center for the first time only, you know.
Yeah, I'm literally. I mean, that's that week of Wicked being out.
I'm gonna go every day.
all 3 of my movies on A-list are going to be that.
Of course.
And the following week.
I've been like saving up all my points. And I'm just going to be like, so now let's compare that to Cinemark. I pay $10 a month. I get one free ticket a month. They roll over.
That's nice. I don't know that these roll over.
Okay. I get member pricing on all other tickets that I buy for anyone. And then I get 20% off concessions. And then you obviously work towards rewards. But
here's what I get.
I'm going to hit platinum, which is going to be 25% off concessions, which is
that's
might
crazy.
as well be free.
Yeah. We get up to 3 movies every week, free refill on your large popcorn, free online reservations, 10% back on food and drink purchases, and more, free size upgrades on popcorn and fountain drinks, priority lanes at box office and concessions, discount Tuesdays, birthday gift, member exclusive offers, screenings, and more.
Nice. I mean,
and this is cute. It like shows you your this week's movies, like what you're gonna go see.
What are you seeing?
I'm seeing Smile 2 tonight.
Yeah, but what are the other ones?
I haven't picked yet. I don't know that I'm going.
I thought there were 2 of the same movie, so I was like, what the heck is that?
I'm locked in for 3 months of this.
Okay.
But the AMC that's closest to me is still pretty far away. But I do normally go to that theater anyway because it's like it has the best experience.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people that I know go there.
Yeah.
It's got all the makings of things, and it's a beautiful drive.
Well, there you
go.
go.
It is just a little bit far away. We'll see if I end up believing that it's worth
the money.
$25 a month.
I
think it will be because I've been seeing at least a movie a week, and that can end up being like a freaking $50 purchase.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Question, yes or no, have you been watching Love is Blind?
No.
Okay. I just feel like this happens to me all the time, is that I don't want to watch it because the truth is, guys, I don't really like this show. I don't really
like
like
last week.
Love is Blind that much. But it's like if you want to, did I say this last week? If you just want to like exist in the world, you have to have seen it.
Yeah, we talked about this last week but I've just decided I'm not.
Okay, well, I am. And the other thing is that you need to just get over that because we need to be able to talk about it, okay? So you do need to like get on board for some of the things that you don't want to watch because we're talking about it. People want to hear us talk about it. And here's the deal. I thought it was hilarious when one of the biggest villains from this season of Love is Blind quoted James Baldwin. And I was like, yep. And that is so funny. He's like, I just say that like, and when I tell you one of the biggest villains, this man.
Was it my quote that I say? Well, that was what Reese Witherspoon's daughter put in her caption the other day when she posted.
What did she say? Oh, she put that quote. I thought you were saying she put that Ramses said it because it is hilarious.
Somebody tells me Ava Felipe isn't Love is Blind seems like she might hold herself. It's a little too lowbrow for her.
I don't know. I bet she watches it because again, how
I don't know.
She's
like. She gives the same way I don't, but I watch it not in the same way that she doesn't.
You already said in the same way, so you can't take it back.
I mean,
little too.
I just think it is.
The
truth is, I don't see it at all. I haven't seen anything about this season.
Other
than what you've said to me, I have not seen anything on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram.
I'm just like, honestly, I'm so amazed. Well, the reunion is on Wednesday, so I'm sure you'll see some shit there. I am dying to know. There's one couple, Taylor and Garrett, that like, if they break up, I will die. They are the cutest little couple. They are like little science people. The good news is they're both conventionally attractive. So like that wasn't really that much of a risk. But they're like kind of awkward and goofy, but like also really fun. They both have science tattoos, like she has like the hydrogen molecule and he has like some equation or something. Like they were like meant to be, and they're both super logical. And they keep saying like this experiment, I think really can only work for someone who is as logical as we are. Like these people who are super logical, where it's like, we have now explored everything. We've thought through everything that could possibly go wrong. If we're making this decision, we're 100% sure because they're so logical that it's like they're if there's a grain of doubt, they're not going to get married.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it's insane that the premise of the show is that like you get married. Like, why is it not enough to just get engaged? Why do they make them get married?
I agree with that.
I feel like it's such like it could be such a crazy bad kind of thing, but also the guys.
But they should do what they do with 90 Day Fiancés. Like they just like follow them throughout the engagement. There's no pressure to get. That's what they should do because they follow them anyway. I mean, I only watched season 1 of that show, but they like follow them into their life afterwards.
Right,
so
and it's like so the experiment.
Why don't we just let them be engaged?
The experiment is not actually is love blind. It's like, did you fall in love with someone and then the other pieces worked? You know, like that's what it actually is.
Because when they get out of there, if they don't think you're attractive, then it all comes crumbling down. Love, guys,
pretty much, yeah.
Love is blindness and the opposite way of how they're trying to do this experiment. Love is blindness in that like if you are so in love with someone and physically attracted to them, you can ignore and be blind to a lot of their emotional, mental qualities. It's not that you're so in love with their mental and emotional qualities all the time
that you can
in these types of relationships. Yeah.
Because let's be real, guys. Most of the people who work out from the show are good looking people. So it's like there wasn't too much of a risk. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, there is, but yeah. So anyway, I just think the men that they have chosen are nightmares. In every kind of way. And basically this guy Ramses, who quoted James Baldwin, he's talking to his fiance Marissa, who has served in the army for like her whole life, or I'm not sure if it's the army, but in the military. And she's like, we haven't really talked about like my service. Like, you know, at most guys I've dated have thought my service is like amazing and been really like, you know, thought it's really amazing. And he's like, wow, really? And she's like, yeah, like, I mean, I'm really like proud of my service. And he was like, and she's like, are you like ashamed of my service? And he's like, I don't think ashamed is the word, but like, I'm definitely not like proud of it. He was like, I'm not gonna like, I don't like want my friends to know. And he was like, and if you were going to re-enlist, this would never work. And if you like, he was like, I do not support the troops. He says it like that. And he's like, you know, I'm Venezuelan and like we have really strong opinions and we've seen some really horrible things, you know, for like US imperialism. And so I have and she's like, yeah, I understand. But like you have your viewpoint. I have mine, which is that like I served. And he's like, you killed people. Like, I just, like, my ethics. He's like, it's a difference in ethics and morals. Like, this is what he's saying to her. And he was like, this is, like, the only thing about you that, like, I don't love. Like, I don't like that about you, that you served. And, yeah. And she's like, wow. And then, like, they go meet her friends. And a bunch of her friends have served as well. And, you know, Marissa says, she's like, it's complicated for me because I am really proud of my service. And I loved the time I spent in the military. I would never re-enlist. Like I see flaws with it, you know, and that's not who I am anymore. But I'm not by any means ashamed of this. And so her friend was like, they brought it up with her friends. And he was like, yeah, like I just like do not support the military at all. And her friend was like, I like love the military. And he was like, yeah, like that's, yeah. I mean, it's just like a difference in morals. And it's like, okay, I honestly don't care what you think about the military. You don't say that. Like
to people that were in it.
To people that were in the military or at all or on television. Like, I just was like, what are you, how do you think this is coming off? Like it was really crazy. I've never seen anything like that on a show like this. And I thought it was, I mean, that is part of it. They talk about these things, but I just thought it was crazy, like to speak like that. I thought it was wild. It was wild. It was wild. And like, that's the guy that, quoted it. And then he just fully blindsided her. Like they were like so good. He was like, I don't have a single doubt about this. And it is now the day before their wedding. And he's like, I just had a conversation with a friend and I just like don't know if this is right for me anymore. And she is bawling her eyes out on the floor, saying this is the worst heartbreak. It hurts so bad. Like, no. Like, I mean, it is. And he's like holding her as she like fucking just sobs. And that's like just one of the guys.
Ew. Absolutely disgusting.
Anyway, I can tell you're going to cut all that out. Anyway, okay, we got a lot of submissions, so let's see. But I do want to say, Phoebe, I am a lawyer and a storyteller. I can't wait for Southern Charm. Are you going to watch?
Yes, but I feel like I need to at least watch last season because I really haven't watched anything other than like season 1 and 2.
Yeah, I would watch the last 2 seasons. You'll enjoy them.
Fly through. I'm rewatching Bly Manor right now, which is a classic. If you haven't watched it, you must.
Guys, by the way,
so good.
Our Patreon episode for Honorary Connell Sisters, I can't believe I'm saying this, is going to be a recap of the Lady Gaga Glee episode because that is what you guys voted for.
I suggested that as a joke.
I was like, I want to do Buffy, and Phoebe was like, well, I said we were going to do the poll, so like we have to do it. I was like, okay, what other ones should we put in? We're like, okay, Buffy, we'll do these 2 American Horror Stories, and then like Phoebe was like, I don't know, the Glee Gaga, and I was like, haha, and she's like, kind of funny, let's do it. Okay, and not you actually choosing that. So that's what we'll be recapping on the Patreon.
I'm stoked about it though.
Because we'll give you what you want, you guys. Okay. First question, Caroline, as a voice teacher, how do I recuperate my voice quickly after a really bad illness? I want you to know I sent you a message. I responded to this in depth, but it didn't let me. It says that like you can only accept it from certain people. So if this was you, go accept it. Because I put a whole thing. Okay.
I was listening to Therapist with Benny Drama. He was on it. And he goes, I just like recently learned about voice teachers. he was like, I kind of just like thought you had it or you didn't. Like he was literally like, and I think Jake was like, well, I think that to a certain extent that is true.
Yeah.
But he was like, I think that like you can like work with someone to make that better. But Benny was like, oh, that is, I just kind of like thought you had it or you didn't.
That is so fucking funny. So funny to just think that we're all like mutants that just can do this and like it's thoughtless and there's no.
Well, you know, I always kind of resented that about singers.
Well, there is a level up. I mean, yeah, there is a level up.
I remember being like younger and being like so annoyed that like when people would be like, you guys have such talents about like you singing and me playing the guitar. I was like, yeah, but anybody could learn how to do this.
See, that's what's so funny is I'm like, everybody can sing, you know, like so.
But anybody can. I mean, guitar is like something. It's like a midlife crisis. People can be like,
guitar.
I'm gonna pick up a guitar,
and that's rule of culture number 7. Guitar is a midlife crisis. That is so funny.
This title of well, it's just like I feel like anybody can do it. So I was always like annoyed that I didn't have this God-given. I didn't feel like I had this God-given talent that everybody was saying you and me had. I was like, don't throw me in there.
But some people are like better at it than others. Like I could work every day at playing guitar. I probably would never be as good as you. You know, like you are naturally very good at it. You know, and I will say like you can be taught to sing well. I got a message from a student that I used to have.
And
their mom was like, okay, but if she doesn't really have it, can she get it?
You can tell us.
And I was like, she was like, basically like, is it worth it to like do voice lessons? And I was like, yeah, like, yes, she can learn how to sing. And then
which not all voice teachers feel.
Not all voice teachers feel that at all. And let me tell you, if your voice teacher is one of the people that doesn't think you can learn how to sing, then you need to go find a new voice teacher. All right. This question I fucking love. Tips on how to make friends in a musical when people are being cliquey.
Oh my God. I'm getting flashbacks to when I was in Willy Wonka for the stage.
Of course. For the stage, version.
I was being bullied like for no reason other than that I think I was a little bit weird. Which I guess is typically why one would get bullied. But I was like more into the music and like I would like I like didn't care about the dancing or anything. I don't know, I was definitely being weird. But one time before we went out on stage, this girl who had been like being mean to me the entire time we were doing, I don't even remember her name, but she we're like lined up in the dark behind the stage, or like, you know how it has it, it's like,
yes, you're lined
to
up in
the
the
side
dark
of the
and you can
stage.
see all of your shadows and you're like, wait, why does my shadow look different than everyone else's? And you realize you're the only Oompa Loompa wearing a fedora.
No, but you know how like they're like this, it's like kind of, it has like kind of
Yeah,
in the
it's
round.
in the round, yeah. It's a thrust
like,
stage.
You like have to go around a portion of the seating from the side of the stage. So we're lined up to like march out and sing a song. And
Probably
she turns
Oompa Loompa.
she
Super
turns me around, puts her hands on my shoulders, and like shakes me back and forth a bunch of times. And then I have to walk outside and do this dance. I'm in tears on stage.
What the
singing
fuck?
Oompa Loompa. Yeah,
Does mom know about this?
I think so.
Who the hell was it?
I don't know, but she was maybe a little bit older than me. We were similar in age.
I need a playbill from Phoebe's production of Willy Wonka, and I'm gonna take the rest of the week off.
Because also, how sad is that? I was so excited to do that show.
Yeah, that makes me so mad. But like, because that's crazy. Like, be normal. Be a normal, mean musical theater girl. Be like me. Okay, be normal. And when you give constructive feedback in rep class and the people start look like they're gonna cry, their lips are quivering, you look at them and you say, "Are you gonna cry?"
Which is so Dan from Big Brother coded. You gotta get on that
cry?
show.
I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, is that not what we're all doing here? I don't even remember what the feedback was, but it couldn't have been. I know I tempered it.
You're ugly.
I know it
You look
wasn't
ugly when you sing that
That is
note.
not true. I know it wasn't what I wanted to say, probably. Like, I probably found the nicest possible way to say do better in whatever way I was saying that. Which is the whole point of rep class, by the way. It's figuring out how you can do better and not crying about it. Anyway,
For sure.
that's how theater is. But how to make friends. Okay, so here's the deal. Out click the click, bitch. You got to make your own click. I'm just kidding. I wish I had like great advice for this, because the truth is, like,
Caroline's just like, I was always on the side of the click.
no. But maybe that actually helps to know that, like, the people who are like being the clicky fucking bitches are just like me, okay? And if you think that you and I get along, then like you will fit in perfectly. You know what I'm saying? No, there have been times. Okay, no. Here we go. I'm going to use my freshman year of college. Here, we'll use this. Because I started and I was told if I sat around in this area, it's where all the theater people were. And if I sat there all day, I would make friends. And I was like, okay, I'm never doing that. So I go audition, whatever, get in shows. I'm like, okay, great, friends. Not so true. And you know this
because they've been sitting around the couches and you weren't there.
No, because they were all older than me. And I was also had a target on my back because I was cast in both of the shows, which wasn't allowed. It was on every single piece of paper said you cannot be in Tommy and As It Is in Heaven. And then they said, but Caroline, you can. And they let me and no one else. And this senior looked at me and she goes, wow, you must be really excited to be in both shows. And I was like, yeah, yes. Phoebe's eyes just like lit up with like, oh my God, that girl is the devil. And I was like, at the time I thought she was like, she also, I had my resume. We went to this audition workshop. And I bring my resume
Sorry, guys,
in.
this is probably not making this person feel better literally at all.
And she goes, why do you have so many credits on there? You need to take some of those off. And I said, that's how many shows I've been in. So she like didn't have that many credits. And then I went in and I fucking schooled her. I was like, girl, I don't need to take any of these off. Thanks. Thank you.
I have something crazy to say about Caroline's college experience and how it recently affected me. I was at a party on Thursday. Let me just tell you how many people were at this party. Like 500 people, including a lot of people that
including Mikey Day and people that I fucking hate too. Feel that. Feel that.
Didn't ruin my night. My night only got crazier from there.
You sure did.
But so I'm like walking up these stairs and this girl grabs my arm and she goes, "Are you a Connell?" And I was like, no fucking way. What do you mean am I a Connell? I'm not in Mount Lebanon, PA. The only place anybody ever says, are you a Connell? Oh my God. And she goes, I was like, yeah. And she said, I knew you had to be. I saw you downstairs and I said, that has to be a Connell. And she goes, I went to school with Caroline.
She goes, that's Caroline Connell's sister. Yeah. So funny.
So
guys, I have not
crazy.
seen her. Shout out Taylor. I have not seen her since probably we graduated college, which was 7 years ago. So, yeah.
If
Hey,
you guys
girl,
ever need to know how much we look alike,
that's how much.
that's how much.
For all of you people who think we don't look alike, that's how much we look alike. That like out of context too. Like I feel
Yeah.
like I could
And,
see
like,
Taylor
and I
somewhere and
had,
I would
like-
be like, is that? I don't know if that's her.
I had eye black on my eyes.
Oh my God.
Like everybody was in costume.
That's so
like-
fucking funny. It is
It's
so
crazy.
funny. Yeah, she was she lived in the Bogard Mansion in
Oh wow.
college. The Bogard Mansion was this like double-decker porch old house in Charleston where like it was always inhabited by theater people. So that's where like the big parties would happen.
Inhabited is so funny. It was always inhabit. They didn't live there. But
We were
they
always
did inhabit
squatters.
the
They were always
area.
inhabited by theater people. And she lived on the bottom floor, but she was like very dry sense of humor. Like she was always
Which
it's
must
just-
be why she liked you. Because I said to her,
Yeah.
at first, the first feeling that shot through me was, oh no. Oh wait, you know, you were in theater and you know her from school. I was like, I'm so glad to hear that this is positive because I know she was like kind of maybe had a mean girl reputation in college. And she goes, oh. Anybody who thought that, I was like, grow up.
Grow up is right, Taylor. Thank you. No, Taylor just like, yeah, she was just kind of like not
feel like she just got it.
involved with like the drama really. And like, she was just kind of like, this is all stupid, but like in a good way that we all really liked. But yeah, so that is so funny. But my advice for you is like, give it fucking time. Give it some time to marinate because I promise
And that's true
you,
of any situation to make
it's
friends.
true of anything, of any situation, but it's also true of theater because also maybe those cliquey people aren't going to be your friends. Maybe right now you think they should be because you think that they're like cool or whatever, but you might like in this interim where you don't feel like you have a place, you might find the people that like create your own clique. You know what I mean? And also
Yeah.
just seriously give it time. Like I remember leaving. I had been at a musical theater school for like 10 years and I left and went to a new one my junior year of high school, which is like hell on earth. And I got there and I said to myself, I am not here to make friends. I am here to get better. Like I am not here to make friends. So I literally would go to class. I wouldn't talk to anybody. I would just like do my little dances. And then that was like in dance class. And then in audition rep class, people just gradually started to like get comfortable and we started talking. And then I started dating one of my gay boyfriends who I met there. And then when I started dating him, everyone loved me. So like, that's all you got to do is
You have to find a gay boy to date.
but really it is like, you know, if you don't put it at the top of your list, like I want to be friends with these people, you will be. You just have to like not think about it so much and just remember why you're there and like let the love of what you're all doing, like you all have a common goal and just let that like bring you together. You'll have inside jokes that are so specific. Like I promise you it'll happen. And I wish I had better advice. Okay. Okay. Do we decorate for Christmas before or after Thanksgiving?
After.
Okay, so we travel for Thanksgiving usually. So like I will put up my decorations right before we leave sometimes so that I can come back and the house is Christmas.
Well, that's true. But so it's decorated after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So it's like I'm
If
not
we
really enjoying
celebrated
because I want to
Thanksgiving at
enjoy the
home.
fall. Yeah.
Because I also think that mom was very much like we got our Christmas tree on December 1st,
Yeah.
basically. Or
And
the
then like
weekend
I
before
will,
December 1st.
she'll take it down like New Year's, but I'll leave mine up through January. It's fake.
I think part of it is that she's a real one. So
Yes.
it's a fire hazard. So
Yeah.
you got to get it out of the house.
So that's sort of my take on that. Okay. Ooh, favorite
And y'all
Thanksgiving
heard what we had to
dishes.
say for Target last week.
Oh, you did. Okay. Favorite Thanksgiving dishes. Green bean casserole, duh.
Yeah.
If you
I
have a
also like this-
Friendsgiving, bring it. It's a huge hit.
I also like this mom's squash casserole. I just wish there weren't onions in it.
I don't really like it. I think I don't like
Well,
how
I just
sweet
love
squash
this-
is.
I love the squash with the cheddar cheese and the breadcrumbs on top. Like that combo is so fire, but the onions sometimes ruin it for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I also love the sweet potatoes with like the crusty brown sugar on top. Ugh, so
I'm
good.
not a sweet potato girl.
Avi, mashed potatoes, turkey, and gravy. The epic combo. Put them all together. So good. And then I'm a pumpkin pie girly. I love it. There has to be pumpkin pie. And Phoebe is an apple pie person.
I'll eat just about anything.
That's what she bakes.
It's there.
I like this one. Advice for coming back home for winter break in college.
Be messy.
Be
Now's
messy.
the time.
Phoebe and I have the same advice.
Season.
Tis the damn
season.
Exactly. Oh, I used to love coming home for Christmas because it's like actually an extended period of time. Everyone's in their feels. It's not like summer. Like I'm going back to school in a few weeks, but it's long enough to feel like there are possibilities.
There's something about it being just long enough that there are possibilities, but like no consequences.
Yes.
You don't have to live in what you did over winter break for 3 months like you do with summer. It's like you can go.
I will never. That was a mistake of mine. I hooked up with an ex on New Year's Eve, 2017, and then
your senior year.
No, it was after.
Post.
Yeah, and then I went back to Charleston, and we like tried to make it work long distance for a few months, and then I literally came back. And we broke up like the day I got back. And then like 3 days later, I started dating Anthony. But I'm like, okay, just totally like worst thing ever to do was to like tie myself down for my last like 5 months in Charleston. Like that was so stupid. I knew that wasn't going anywhere. Dumb. But messy. It's so fun to be messy. It's so fun to be like, okay, who's my New Year's Eve kiss gonna be? What old flames am I just gonna like conjure up when I get back home? I will never forget walking through the South Hills Village Mall and I get a text from somebody I terrorized the year before at the same time, and it said, "The Ice Queen of Pittsburgh has returned."
But if you're asking this question from a sense of
what do you mean?
My advice to you, if college hasn't necessarily felt like what you thought it was gonna feel like, when you get home, everybody you know is going to be acting like college is the greatest thing that ever happened to them, and that they have all these friends and they go to all these parties, and they might be, but they're also probably miserable. You're all miserable. And just because you're more comfortable being honest about the struggle that you've had, which is how I was. Like I came back from school and I was like, no, I'm not having fun. Yeah. I am not having fun. But I had a lot of friends who weren't being honest, in my opinion. They were like, they wanted it to all seem fine, and that's fine if that's like how you want to live, but that's not who I am.
Yeah.
And just know that like you're the same way Instagram, our mom loves to say, is a highlight reel. You're getting like their highlight reel when you go meet them at the bars and you guys are catching up and they're like, yeah, like I XYZ, like they're telling you all these crazy stories. It's like, okay, well, and they're not going to tell you when they cry themselves to sleep sometimes.
Yeah. But the other thing is, maybe you have two choices. You're welcome to use any of the stories we've said and pretend they are your own. If you want to just fucking fit in and like say whatever and not have to like get real. But also I want you to know that there's like a power in you being really honest about what you're going through, because it might give permission to your friends to be honest about what they're going through. Like no one wants to be the first person to say, no, it's not great. No, I'm not happy. No, whatever. And so if that's you, maybe like, there's always a chance you say it and your friend's like, that sucks. Like I love college, but most likely that's not going to be
it.
And
if they don't feel that way yet, there will be a time when they're at school and they do.
Like no matter what, it doesn't matter if that time comes your senior year of college. Like it will come. And the other thing I'll say is enjoy being home. Like think on all those things that you were homesick for when you were at school. Enjoy being a back home baller. Let your parents take care of you if that's what they want to do. Like go see your friends, go out to the bars, like do the things. Or if you can't drink yet, like just go do things with your friends. Like don't just stay in the house, whatever. Like,
because there will come a time where you're not all in the same space.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the summer before going to college, Dan and I were driving around and I was like, I just like can't believe that like we probably won't like we're none of us are gonna live here again for an extended period of time at the same time.
Right.
And I think when we said it that way, it like really like I like totally killed the mood of like us having a carefree summer. But I was like, that's like sad to me, and Dan felt the same way. But it's true that like when you take advantage of those times when you do go home, because even if you don't love your hometown, regardless, there are going to be things that you miss when you grow up and move to a different city. I can't relate to the not loving your hometown thing. I famously will like
live and die for Pittsburgh.
I went Taylor had a tailgate a couple weekends ago, and then we went out after, and I just got to a point in the night where I was just talking about Pittsburgh and how much I adore it. It's the greatest city in the world.
Well, we miss you. We miss you. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
But yeah, so that's the advice for that. I don't know if that's helpful at all. But the other thing is, and I know I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, getting involved at your college campus will save your life and will save your college experience. Like, I don't know if you want to try something new. Theater is always a great place to go because it's usually land of the misfit choice. It's lots of people that are like, where the hell do I guess
but
I'll
also
try
if
this.
you're worried about that, res life is an easy thing to do, and there's a lot of benefits to doing it. But I also, if you guys are out of college and you feel like you're in that weird 20-something phase where it's like hard to make new friends, I had a realization in the last couple weeks that like everything does just take time. And I think that because I was moving back to Nashville, in my head, I was like, this shouldn't be taking time. Like I have a foundation of friends here already, so I should just be meeting new people. And I was, but like in the last couple weeks, I've just felt like things have like fallen more into place, and it just does take time to settle into this period of your life and learn how to meet new people and everything like that.
I'm still learning. I have a very hard time meeting new people.
Yeah.
So, anywho, okay. Should we do our rotations?
Yeah. You go first. You're your own dream.
All right. First up is 50 Cent. Because 50 Cent, let's just say it, the whistleblower of our time. 50 Cent said, let's hold people accountable. Come on. 50 Cent is speaking out on P. Diddy, is not afraid, said, I will never be involved with this bullshit. Clocked it from the beginning. I mean, I love that. And I low-key do love 50 Cent. Like, I love 50 Cent in movies. Has 50 Cent been on my dream rotation before?
I don't think so.
Maybe. Okay. That's why 50 Cent is there. Also, who doesn't love I'll take it to the candy shop. Mom hated that song. But that was one of the first rap songs I like really made my own, you know?
Wow.
Like,
we really made your own. The
really
rest you were hearing from Steven and Lozzie.
Yeah, but that one I was like, this is mine. I'm going to take this, make it my own, put it back into the world. And that's what I did. Next up is Elmo, who we realized is just Drama. We did not realize that Drama's voice is the same exact voice as Elmo's. Who would have thought? We find this video.
And the personality.
Yes. We find this video that's Elmo like talking about frequent Google searches. And one of them is like, does Elmo have ears? So this is how Elmo, does Elmo have ears? Say what? Does Elmo have ears? No. Go on, next one. Does Elmo have a New York accent? No. Or whatever he said. I don't remember what it is. But we were like, wait, Drama has a New York accent. Drama talks like this. It's the cooking video where they're like, yeah, you just throw in some white stuff, which is gross. When you put it all together, it tastes great. And some balsamic vinegar. That's a big word for Elmo.
Like, and why the Rocco situation.
Why is Elmo a laugh riot?
Elmo is just Drama, but I do love that video of Simone Biles saying, could we take a picture? And then he pulls up, you want to take a picture? Simone Biles wants to take a picture with Rocco.
Yeah, with Rocco. It's so Drama. It's hilarious.
he goes, anybody got a camera? The immediate change in demeanor is so fucking funny.
It is
oh my God.
funny. It's anyway, if you really want to LOL, go watch some freaking Elmo vids. I don't know. Okay, and then last is Lisa Barlow. She's going to be making pretty frequent appearances on the Dream Rotation, I think, you guys. But she just gave us such a great performance last week. She really
Go the
did.
distance on it.
And I want to go to the distance. Like, so I'm being accused of doing something I did not do.
I did not do.
It's just so fucking
The
good.
inflection on did not do.
And I'm also like, her,
It's
not
so
her being on
funny.
speakerphone, like at a party that's not hers, not Whitney's, creating an absolute scene in the middle of Angie's
also,
party.
Hey Angie, can we get some of the house lights down? If we're gonna, it's like that.
We're in full fluorescence at Angie's
And we're like the
Angie's
theme
house.
is mob boss. The theme is mob boss, and the lights are on.
But I am loving Angie this season.
I know. I like that she's like campy, and
I love
thought I
it.
wasn't gonna enjoy the editing style, which has persisted.
Yes. No, I'm
even
loving
though
it.
Our prediction was that it wouldn't.
Yeah.
But it's not frustrating me like I thought it was going to.
It makes
feels
it a little
like
more fun.
self-aware. It's not like in the first episode it felt very like they were taking themselves a little too seriously, but now it's
Yes.
like campy.
Yes. They can laugh at themselves a little bit, which I think is just so fucking funny. And
Which is actually, I think that's part of why we like Lisa. Whitney can't laugh at herself.
yeah, exactly.
Whitney takes herself way too seriously,
Yeah.
but also still wants to be seen as like this fun-loving
Yes.
vibe.
Yes.
But Lisa just like, she can laugh at herself, and so can Mary. I feel like Mary can
Yeah.
also like.
Which is new. I actually don't think Mary half the time knows what she's laughing at.
She's so fucking funny.
She's so fucking
and have you seen
funny.
that guy on TikTok who reenacts the scenes
No.
and like kills Mary's eyes? Like
Oh
can
my
do
God.
the eyes perfectly.
I need to watch
Like,
it.
And he'll like recreate entire scenes, and like you can tell exactly who he's being at any given moment. It's so funny. All right. My rotation. First is going to be title credit scenes and like theme songs that are showing clips of the show, like the actors in the show,
That haven't
but
happened
the
yet.
names no.
Oh.
But the names don't match.
Oh, this is a good one. And you know, I've thought of this for a long time. I've never been able to quite put words to it. So I appreciate
I've
what you've done
noticed it
here.
in Friday Night Lights, it does that, and in Bly Manor it does that, where like in Bly Manor they'll be showing like the portraits of all the characters, and Victoria Pedretti I literally think is the only one that matches. And then it will be like zooming into another character, and it'll be like a girl character and then a guy's name.
Well, the best
And
is
it's
when
like,
you're not really sure.
why
You're
can't
like,
we just match it?
well, yeah. Sometimes I feel like I'm watching those and I'm like, well, maybe, I mean, I don't really know what that person looks like. So maybe that is them. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then
And
I'll
then
see
you're on the
Victoria
IMDb.
Pedretti and I'm like, well, that's her. That's her. And then I see someone else that I know, and I'm like, well, that's not them. So now
Exactly.
I'm like, wait, has this all been a lie?
Or like they showed a picture of the kids, and then now it's the executive producer name.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, hey,
Right.
why
That's a good
couldn't we have
one.
edited this differently? So yeah, that next is going to be Whitney Rose's husband. We already kind of talked about
Yeah. He deserves it. He deserves it.
him. Last, well, honestly, guys, this week there was a lot to fucking pick from. There was a lot to pick from in the general vicinity of things that are going on in this country and in this world.
Yeah.
But of course, there are thousands of villains. There are thousands of villains. There are thousands of villains to choose from, and one always seems to just like be that one that you want to pick, and it's Tom Sandoval. He is so fucking
thought you were going to
annoying.
say Donald Trump.
I thought it could have, and that's
and that's also true.
Well, let me just list out who else could have been on it. Him, Nick Bossa, anybody who spoke at that fucking rally. Part of me wants to say, and I'm not trying to isolate people, but I don't really care if that's what isolates you from me, because I don't know how you're watching that and it's not
Yeah.
making you like so angry. But
Yeah.
anyway, Tom Sandoval decided to post his first episode of Everybody Loves Tom, which someone actually
Wait,
had
he's
had a better idea for what the name of the podcast should have been, and it should have been called According to Tom.
hasn't this podcast been out for a while?
No, he hasn't released an episode since April, is what I'm saying. This is
so
his
it's not
first
his-
episode,
Since
And, like,
then. Okay,
yeah.
okay. I thought you meant like ever. I was like, oh
and Victoria is on it with him. Have you seen clips of it?
no.
Oh my god. He rants about Raquel for like 5 minutes about how
What?
he can't believe that like she's tried to make herself out to be the biggest victim in this entire thing, and like all this stuff, and how he's like, I'm trying to take accountability, but like she also needs to take some accountability. She's not the biggest victim in all of this that is like he's going on and on.
Oh my God.
Victoria also could have been on this because she starts talking about when they went to go see, I think, Grateful Dead, and they went to the same show as Katie and Dana. And so Tom, honestly, I'll give Tom a little bit of credit here. He was talking about it in a way where he wasn't going to bring up the fact that he ran into Katie and that they had a bad interaction.
Oh.
Victoria's the one who starts, because he's like talking about the people that they were around and like how he was having fun. And she goes, yeah, most of the people we were around. And he's like, oh yeah, well, and she goes, yeah. And,
oh my God.
And I like all this stuff, and someone commented on it and they were like, funny how Katie and Dana talked about this same concert going experience and didn't mention either of your names once.
Literally. Oh my God.
But it's like, Victoria, how do you think do you think Katie's gonna walk up and like hug Tom?
Yeah.
And here's the thing, here's how I know Victoria's so like unself-aware is that like Tom was able to portray it like, I wanted to go up and like just like say hi and like just, but it's like, Tom, the reason you want to go up and say hi is the same reason that someone that was at a party last week wanted to wave at Mimi.
Yes.
Because you want to be able to feel like the good guy. And say that
you're not
you are
the good guy.
Like, you want to be able to be like, yeah, I was the bigger person there and I went up to Katie and was willing to like say hi and be cordial in the moment. Katie doesn't owe you that.
Yeah.
Katie doesn't owe the same thing to you. Just because you want to Katie probably would have been perfectly content ignoring you the entire time.
Yeah.
And that's probably what she was doing. They might have been talking about you. I would have been.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make them, I just feel like Victoria has such a skewed, she wasn't around for any, like, you don't know these people.
Right.
You don't know these people. You know, like, Tom and Tom's
she
story.
Said she didn't even watch the show. So it's like,
so she
girl,
literally has no idea.
I know ignorance is bliss, but you also look fucking stupid.
Literally.
Okay, was that
Anyway,
that was your last
so
person? Nice, good one.
It's my rotation.
Good one. Well, guys, this was a fun episode. I have something really important to say, though, before you stop listening. Next Tuesday in 1 week is election day, okay? Tuesday, November 5th. We are voting for the next president of the United States. It is a very, very important job, and we need you guys to show up, okay? We need you guys to show up, and I'm personally asking you,
especially if you live in the following states. If you live in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Arizona, I'm even willing to throw Florida in there. If you're voting in the All Red Cruz Texas election, vote for the new guy. Very cool. But I did just list all the swing states. The election is literally in your hands.
Yes.
Those states are determining the election. When you watch the news, not a single other state comes up. Those are the states.
There is no excuse to not vote in this election. There really isn't. And if you are thinking of excuses, I promise you, what is at stake is more important, okay? Like, please do your duty. And if you're not doing it for you, do it for me. Do it for Phoebe. We're asking you to, okay? We are personally asking you to do this. Thank you so much.
Rock and roll.
Go vote. Make a plan. If you have questions about how...
Go to vote.org. I believe all the swing states, you can still, if you're not registered, you can still register in all the swing states.
I think voting is cool. I think voting is
most
hot.
Most blue states, I think you can even, there's like 15-ish states, I think, where you can register day of. You can show up and register.
So look up your state's rules and laws and go vote, okay? It matters. Your voice matters. Your one vote, and it could be the vote, okay? So just please.
And you can still volunteer. I am phone banking on Saturday afternoon. I will be calling people in swing states and encouraging them to go out and vote. Be a part of something really cool.
Yes. Okay. That's what we want to say. We trust you guys. You got this. But yeah. Next Tuesday, November 5th, vote. Other things, on Thursday, you're going to get the season 5 finale episode. It actually is so fitting that the Dollhouse episode is on Halloween.
I know, it's crazy.
I'm so excited to go to the Dollhouse with you guys. Holy moly. Haunted house like we've never seen it. I can't wait.
Have you watched yet?
No. I'm really
I
nervous.
want you to text me while you watch.
Okay, I will. I'm nervous. Oh my gosh, should I go live? Just kidding.
When are you watching?
I don't know yet. When are you watching?
I don't know yet.
Oh, let's talk. But that's coming out Thursday along with the Against All Odds Glee Lady Gaga episode recap on Patreon for honorary Connell sisters. And the other really important thing that's happening on Thursday is not just that we'll be eating chili because that's the Connell tradition.
Not me.
Well, you could make it, idiot. I'm going to make it.
Yeah, I could.
You
But
could.
that means I need to go to the store.
It's not that hard. Anyway, Simon making chili, not going to the store, but like both aren't that hard. So anyway, that is gonna happen on Thursday for sure. But also that is the day that our giveaway closes. So if you haven't entered yet, we have an awesome giveaway on Instagram for you to go enter. You can still enter until Thursday. We'll announce the winner on Instagram. So make sure you're following us at The Pretty Little Podcast. The O in podcast is a 0. Follow us on TikTok at The Pretty Little Podcast. And please, please, please leave us a review. Tell us how much you love us. We love you. Thank you. And don't forget to vote. We will see you next week on Election Day. And
Splat.
splat.